Listen, as a scalp expert, I have to make sure that I also keep my scalp from being inflamed and full of flakes. So it is my time of the week to take care of my scalp like I always do. Every week I literally shampoo my hair, and once a month I do a scalp detox. So your girl's been busy, but I wanted to make sure that I keep up with my routine. Look at that. I had a lot of dryness because I was not taking my pro and prebiotics like I normally do, but I wanted to make sure that I recorded this video for you guys, so that way you can see how I take care of my scalp. So for those of you who don't know me and you're new to this channel, my name is Judy Carrasco. I am a certified and a licensed cosmetologist as well as a hair loss practitioner. I am a scalp expert. I specialize in scalp health in order to get to the root cause of your hair loss or the flaking of your scalp. And then I create a plan of action to help your scalp get back to its optimum health. So I am scalp detoxing right now. I'm doing this method on myself, and a scalp detox is literally just a mixture of different clays, teas, essential oils with, oxygen therapy. And what that does, it opens up the follicles. I always use the analogy that it's like a pipe, a clogged pipe in your bathroom, right? A clogged drain, for example. And, all kinds of good get in there. You have your hair goes down the drain, different things, that you're using if you're soaking in the tub and say you're using clay, sometimes that can clog the pipes. But also too, it's, just the internal working of what's happening in the pipe is what helps your hair, and your scalp to be able to slow down. So a scalp detox, think of it as, it goes in and it removes that buildup. It flushes out the pipe so that way now we can get a free flowing amount of water going in and out of the pipe. So a scalp detox does exactly that. It also helps to remove dead skin, which is the flaking that you saw on my scalp. That's dead skin, y'all. So what I'm doing now, I'm doing a custom blend of my scalp detox, and I do this for my clients as well too. There's nothing that I use on myself that I don't use on my clients because I want to make sure that everyone's getting optimal results. So as you can see, I'm applying this specific mixture onto my scalp, and listen, it doesn't hurt to detox the hair either. So I do apply it on the strands of my hair. Why? Because it actually will help just strengthening the strands of my hair and removing any product buildup as well too. So I want to make sure like I rub it in. Y'all, this is so holistic and it's so great because you can apply even on your skin. As you'll see that I will apply that mainly on my hair. I want to make sure that everything is getting detoxed. Everything is being like purified and just cleansed. And this is my monthly routine when it comes to my scalp detox. So I'm going in and massaging it, and it feels really cool. It feels really minty. It's refreshing. You can feel it working immediately when it's applied. And I love the fact that I can go ahead and just rejuvenate my scalp, removing buildup without having to go in and scratching it and all of that. So look at my scalp before, y'all. I'm so ashamed. This is my scalp before, because I wasn't drinking as much water as I should. So I'm dehydrated. And then you can also see that I had a lot of buildup on my scalp. And that's because too, I went about a month without taking my pre and probiotics. So my yeast and my gut went a little out of control. So that's why your girl had to do the scalp detox. So anyway, back to the scalp detox. Again, it's great for your skin. The skin on your scalp is the exact same skin that's all over our body. There are not two different things. So we want to make sure too that you are exfoliating your skin as well. So this clay mask, it's gentle enough. This actual mixture is great and it's safe enough to use on my scalp, on my skin. So here I am with the oxygen treatment. I am allowing my scalp to breathe. I have the oxygen there flowing through the scalp, opening up the scalp. It's nice and cool. Take that off. And now I'm going to get into shampooing. And of course, I'm using Art of Beauty, the Art of Beauty hair care line, because it actually works. And I'm using this in order to cleanse my scalp, remove the rest of the buildup, and also too is going to help with keeping my hair nice and flush and healthy. It helps to open up the rest of my follicles. It helps to strengthen my hair. And this is the antifungal shampoo. This is actually the back bar size for stylists. I do have a stylist portion of Art of Beauty products. And then what we have for our clients is the scalp therapy kit. So everything that I'm using, you can get in the scalp therapy kit. I will leave the links to that exact product line in the description. So back to it. So this is actually a couple of months ago. This is about the month of, I believe this was the month of February. January? Yeah, January. I started transitioning in January of 2025. I no longer am relaxing my hair. We're now in July at the time of me doing this voiceover, but this is from January. So I am going in and I am just rinsing this out. I want to thoroughly make sure that I rinse all of the scalp exfoliation mask and the scalp detox mask from my scalp, so that way I can go in and start the shampoo process. And I'm taking my time. Y'all, can we give it up for the curls? Do y'all see the curls coming through? Do y'all see the wave? I'm so excited. I can't wait for me to be fully natural. I only have about maybe 3 inches left of my relaxed ends, and I slowly cut them every month so that way my hair can grow a little bit faster. Ain't no sense of trying to hold on to relaxed hair, but I don't want to do a big chop. But anyway, y'all, my hair is growing rapidly. So here I am applying now the Sassafy antifungal scalp shampoo because I had the yeast buildup. I'm just going in using the balls of my fingers. You never want to use your nails to scratch your scalp, but you can go in also too with a antibacterial silicone shampoo brush that mimics using the balls of your fingers if you don't feel like using your hands, and it helps to just remove the stress off of your hands. So I go in and I make sure like I get every inch of my scalp. This also helps to remove the rest of the mask that will be on the scalp. The mask does not stick to the scalp. It's not like pasted on the scalp, but this just makes it easier to remove all of that buildup. And y'all, it feels so good. My clients be in the shampoo bowl just knocked out. They just be loving this scalp brush. So I go in and I use one on myself, and I make sure that I just remove all of the buildup. And you can see like my waves coming through for my natural hair. I absolutely love it, y'all. Come through, sunshine, baby. You see that glow? Anyway, so I go ahead and I rinse this off my face because I didn't want it to sit too long. Again, this is just to strengthen my skin, remove any dead skin cells, and then also to give me that healthy glow. And you're going to see right here how much y'all see my skin. The skin is skinning, baby. Look at that glow. Look at that glow. Absolutely love it. People keep asking me like, how is it that I'm 40 and I still look like I'm like 20 years old? Baby, I take care of myself. Period. That's what a detox does for you. Anyway, back to the reason why you're here is to see how I take care of my hair. How do I shampoo? So again, I started off with a scalp detox, a custom blend to remove the yeast buildup that was on my scalp because your girl's been neglecting her gut in this video. And then now I went in now with the second shampoo, which is Art of Beauty's sulfate-free hydration shampoo, which is a very hydrating shampoo that goes in and it helps for the scalp and the hair to be well balanced with moisture. I go in and I just use the balls of my fingers again and I massage it in. Now I'm going with Art of Beauty's Purity Hydrate Conditioner, which is a great detangler. I apply that all over, and when I apply that all over, I'm able to comb it through, and it just makes it easier as I'm transitioning. At the time of this video, I just started my transitioning process, and what's happening is it's going to help me to detangle, and it's a great way to add hydration. So I am going to apply this all over, work it in, and then I go in with a comb because I like to make sure that I feel, you know, everywhere in my scalp, making sure that there's no knots, making sure that there's no tangles or anything like that. I do use my fingers first, and then I go in with a detangling brush or a wide tooth comb. So rule of thumb, always make sure you use your fingers first to feel where any knots or tangles may be, then go in with the comb. Start with the ends of your hair, ladies, and then work your way to the scalp. Okay, ends of the hair first. And when you are transitioning, you're going to find those two different textures. Your hair does become a little tough to deal with. So the key is make sure when you're shampooing your hair that you're not doing it in a rush. You're not doing it as you're frustrated, but you're doing it, you know, when you have the time and you take your time. So you can see I started at the end and then I worked my way to the scalp. And then once I'm done, I just go through and I just comb everything all together. Okay, so this is a rule of thumb. If you don't want to break your hair when you're transitioning or when you're natural, you want to make sure you start at the ends, and you can see minimal shedding. And again, I am transitioning, so I'm going to have two different textures. That makes it a little bit more necessary for me to add more hydration. Look at that. Y'all see the waves coming through, baby. So shampooing my hair is very, very therapeutic for me, because there's nothing like a clean scalp. Like when your scalp is clean, baby, you feel the weight has been lifted off. So again, just doing my little turban wrap after I did my conditioner and steam treatment. Now on to the blow dry. So I like to blow dry my hair, or I do a roller set. But the more and more that I am getting closer to being straight natural, I use a blow dryer more often. I will sit under the dryer sometimes, but I do go in and I blow dry, because sometimes I'm short and pressed for time. Now I am doing a smoothing treatment in my hair while I'm transitioning, so I use Design Essentials smoothing treatment, their S2S system. So that was the leave-in to seal it and also to strengthen my strands as I'm transitioning. And of course, I went in with Art of Beauty's Preserve Silkening Serum. That's an anti-frizz serum. It also helps to reduce any friction or breakage. So I just combed that through, and you guys can see in January how much of the relaxer I had on my ends and how much new growth that I had. So I just go in and I section it off. And when I section it off, I like to take a little bit of like time with making sure that all the sections are as even as possible. You're not going to always get them even, but just so that way I can have more control. So if you're having a hard time blow drying your hair and you're constantly like frustrated, baby, section your hair. Don't go in and try to blow dry your hair without any sections. You're going to get frustrated. And then also too, you're going to rip out your hair. So I go in and I make sure I focus on my roots. So it's important when you're blow dry with a nozzle. That way you can control the airflow, and a paddle brush, just like how I'm doing here. This gives me more control, and you can see it doesn't take that long for the hair to actually dry. And as it's drying, I'm able to also too just add more body by curving the brush. That's giving me the ability to add volume and body. So in this video, I just wanted to show you guys how to shampoo your hair after a scalp detox, and then also to how to ensure that you're not ripping out your hair. Minimal breakage. There was no damage to my hair, and guess what? I was able to get this done well under 30 to 40 minutes from start to finish. So you go in different sections and different directions too, in order to help the hair to dry in all areas. And then once you do that, you want to make sure you use your blow dryer on cool and just blow dry your scalp to make sure that your scalp is thoroughly dry. And in doing that, you're going to make sure that you don't have any room for any fungus, mold, yeast to continue to grow on your scalp. So that's how I do that. And of course, I want to make sure that my hairline stays nice and healthy. So I go in with my high frequency comb. I also do this for my clients as well too. And what this is doing, it's helping to stimulate the blood flow. Y'all, I've always had very, very thin edges since I was little. Like my hair is very fine in texture, and then I don't have a lot of hair per square inch in my diameter. So my density is very, very fine. So I'm going in with my high frequency comb because I did have a little bit of thinning due to some hormonal changes. But I was able to stop that in its tracks and attack it first before it became a permanent issue by using my high frequency comb. After my high frequency comb, I do go in and I massage my scalp, and I do use the Art of Beauty antifungal elixir, because this not only helps to stimulate the blood flow, but it helps with strengthening the roots of my hair and my strands. And this antifungal oil also helps with promoting healthy hair strands and healthy hair growth. So I'm going back in and showing you guys the after. Okay, y'all remember how my scalp looked before? This is how my scalp looked after. Ain't that better? It looks very, very healthy. You can see my follicles are open. There's absolutely no flakes. So excited. And this is what I do for my clients on a regular. So I also have to make sure I do it for myself too. So that looks way much better. So here we go with the antifungal elixir. Again, this is a protection and it's a lubricant to help with my follicles. I want to make sure that I use it sparingly. You don't have to use a lot of it because you don't want for your hair to be super heavy. Although the oils are not going to block the follicles because it's very light oils and oils that actually can be absorbed into the skin. It's not heavy like coconut oil, for example, that blocks the follicles. Remember, we want to keep the follicles open without there being any clogging like that drain in your bathroom, right? So we want to allow the flow of oxygen and blood and nutrients to continue going in all of the follicles. And this is possible with all of Art of Beauty's products. So there's the antifungal elixir. It's called Sassafy Antifungal Elixir, named after my mom. And then I massage that in. And then before I blow dry or before I flat iron, I go in with the anti-humidity spray by Kenra. It's one of my favorite when I am pressing out my hair and my client's hair. So I go in, and I'm not even doing a flat iron, y'all. I'm just using my T3 curling iron, because it's going to give me the look of a roller set. So you can see I'm doing it and making it look like a roller set. So after it all cools down, I wrap my hair and it looks like a roller set. Like, my hair is very bouncy and full of body. Y'all, I was hungry doing this, so I had to go ahead and get a snack. Anyway, so let's continue. So you can see how much new growth I have, and you can see the difference with my natural hair and my relaxed texture. So what I'm doing is I'm mimicking a roller set so I can continue having that body and that bounce in between those two textures. So this is really important. If you're transitioning, make sure you're getting a low tension style, or make sure you are taking care of your hair weekly in order for your hair not to break and for your hair to remain healthy. So I just go throughout my whole head and I do small sections and I curl them. Once they cool down, again, I go in and I use either my silk serum again. But one of the key things when you are transitioning is you wrap your hair and then you put a plastic cap, sit under a cool dryer for at least 5 minutes, and that locks in all of the body, the shine, the bounce, and everything else in the hair. And you can see how healthy my ends are. And I'm just wrapping it to go back under the dryer. And once I come from under the dryer, I'll unwrap it. And that's that. So every time you see me with a wrap and with some body in my hair, this is my go-to. Or I do the same exact method, but instead of blow drying, I will do a roller set and I wrap my hair. So here it is, y'all. Healthy scalp. My scalp looks good. Tell me what you think about this video.